Markout Mania, we're live.
Okay.
I did not plan anything for today.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. It was just something. Hola, amigos. And welcome to the Mark Out Mania.
Woo, that was the shortest theme song in the history of theme songs. That was awesome.
Mark Out Mania, we're live.
That's all like a commercial.
It's our radio spot. It's our
radio spot.
Hey, we got James the Extreme Sorno. How are you?
I am doing good, Mr. Board. I just finished eating my Okada burger, so I'm ready to rock and roll.
Whoa, you got a Moss burger all the way from Japan?
I got the Jim House version. I put two patties together with some ketchup and some cheese, and we're good.
Jim House. I try to remember the way your DJ thing starts. Do your DJ intro.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm not having that yet.
House.
I used to have a girl because I have a few of my female friends. I recorded them. I have recorded them doing Jim House, that. So it comes out, yeah. But I haven't used it.
And so back in 2006, 2007, I was developing this project called Mophead and the Lazy Kangaroos. Okay. It was meant for a few different things. It could have been like a musical, like a movie thing, or it could have been like some kind of weird TV animated show thing. I don't know. It could have been different ways, but it was basically the gist of it is, a band or whatever, like Mophead and the Lazy Kangaroos. The musical version's like a guy disguising himself with a wig and stuff and playing as a rock star at night then doing a day job and stuff. And then the other one was like kind of some little kids show thing. Anyways, when I was developing the thing, I was doing these demos of the songs, and for the theme song, I had Stephanie do some stuff on it, and that was so difficult to get her to do that. And I had to give her a script, and she had to just kind of say the stuff, and I had to because she wasn't gonna be able to do it since she's not a musician, she can't do it in time, right? She's not gonna be able to listen to the thing and do it in time. So she had to read it, and then it was a weird deal. I was like, okay, record. And I had to leave the room. she wouldn't let me in the room, so I had to leave the room. She had to record the lines. Then I had to piecemeal it to where it would fit in time to what I wanted and stuff.
Yeah. No, I got a few recordings. I have a few of my female friends recorded a few Jim House, sexy voice and stuff like that. But I haven't really used it. No, I haven't really used it. But anyway, those who are wondering, conspicuous by his absence, the road warrior scholar Zeus King Dark is pulling double duty today. He's giving a lecture and shaping young minds as we speak. All young video artists, and then afterwards he'll join us after he talks to the masses. And then he'll join us later on, after he finished shaping young minds.
He's
the road warrior scholar.
How does Zeus mold young minds? He's like, Krakow.
Krakow.
Here's some knowledge. Krakow. Yeah. More knowledge.
He's like, I need you to do it this way, or I'll judo chop your ass. Yeah, that's how you should do it. Good stuff.
Good. NPR time. Good times.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Jim House.
Jim House.
I do that because I had to watermark my mixes and people were stealing.
Yeah.
You're like, I did this mix. Oh, no. Yeah, you did. Sure, you did. I did it actually. So I was like, wow.
Is that's probably a common thing, isn't it? In that.
Yeah, people take credit for other people's mixes. That's fine. I don't give a shit. But anyway, did you watch any wrestling this week, Pedro? That's my answer exactly.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't I don't think I've watched anything. I saw some clips on Twitter or whatever, but I didn't see any matches. No.
I had NXT in the background. Now everybody's changing their name because here we go again. Vince McMahon and his power trips. Nobody can use any variation of their real name unless I, give it to them. So he changed Tommaso Ciampa to Ciampa. It's no longer Austin Theory, it's just Theory. There's no more Kaylee Ray. It's called Amber Fire now or some shit she changed the name to.
Alba Fire or something.
Yeah, Alba Fire. Even the grizzled young veterans are not called that anymore.
What are they called?
They're called by their last names now.
Gibson and the other one.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, they changed a few other people's names. Oh yeah, they changed Casey Constantino's name.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what it is now.
She's got some ninja type name now.
Yeah. Kung Fu Whore, whatever her name is now. But and then on top of that, they let go of Dexter Lumis and Persia Pirotta. Brutal.
They let go. I was surprised they let go of Dexter Lumis because
he's right smack in the middle of the storyline.
Well, I thought they were high on him. Like the
way
he's been positioned in NXT the past 2 years. I thought, they're high on this guy.
Yeah, he's good too. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, Zeus brought it up in our Twitter chat, but that's a guy you put on the main roster. You keep him, like somewhere in the mid card, and if you need someone to slot in if someone gets injured or something like that, you just slot him up and he does a little program, then you slot him back down.
I agree, yeah. He's a capable worker too. He's a capable worker.
Dakota Kai, I'm not completely surprised they let her go because I think we talked on here before. I didn't see her having much of a ceiling on the main roster, which is a shame.
No.
Because she's a good worker.
Yeah, she is.
And she's really good at a specific role that every company needs, which is someone who makes others look good.
Well, from what I've read, she said that she wasn't planning on re-signing after her contract ended anyway. Unlike Malcolm Bivens, who was offered who actually wanted to stay and was offered a contract extension, but he turned that extension down, hoping for a better one, and then he just got released outright. So those are the breaks. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So there's some hanky panky going on in WWE again with talent, and I mean, are they that high on the people that they're bringing in? I don't know, because the talent that they're bringing is not all that. I mean, isn't all that spectacular.
Yeah, I don't know. Dakota Kai, where do you see her going?
I don't know. It's a good question, Pedro. Everybody assumes she's going to roll up in AEW, but
I think I never want anyone to go to AEW, and it's not just.
It's a viable option, though. It's a viable option.
Money wise, yes, I agree. I'm not saying I want these people to be destitute and poor. Okay, I understand going there for the money. Okay, but in terms of what's going to happen to them, like nothing happens to these people when they go there, like absolutely nothing, and all of them, like the returns become worse. Like everyone gets lazy there. I don't know what the situation is, that everyone who goes there gets worse than they were previously. I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you, buddy, man. But it's I've become disillusioned with wrestling once again because it's just not good anymore.
I guess here's my thing with Dakota Kai.
Excuse me.
Is she going to get pushed in AEW?
No,
of course not. So I don't see how it's going to be that great a
I mean,
difference.
unless Tony Khan just need bodies for his Ring of Honor women division.
I didn't think about that.
You know, that's the only way I see it happening. Yeah, because if he wants to make that division viable, he's going to need bodies.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't have your AEW talent keep showing up on Ring of Honor shows. You know, if you want the Ring of Honor brand to stand out on its own, then they have to have their own talent and their own TV show, etc., etc.
It's kind of when you start thinking about it, it's kind of dumb to be like, I'm running this company and I'm going to run this other company too. Like, you kind of need to delegate at that point.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. You know, I mean, but I haven't. You know, I've tried watching. You know, NXT has gotten. It was getting better, but the whole thing with
Gacy?
Yeah, but the whole thing with Joe Gacy and Braun Breaker, him kidnapping Rick Steiner. I'm like, stop. I was about to throw my chocolate out the TV. I'm like, stop.
Can you imagine like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are going to fight, and one of them kidnaps the other's father to goad them into a title match, and then
now all of a sudden Joe Gacy's turned into the second coming of Bray Wyatt with the dark lighting and the mysterious dark promos with the people in the hood. Know what storyline I'm finding amusing though?
What?
The whole thing with Tony D'Angelo and between him and Pablo Escobar.
Oh.
I actually find it entertaining. It's kind of funny. You know? I find it entertaining, and the whole thing with Natty Nightheart turned heel, and
oh yeah, I forgot she's in NXT now.
Now you said all of a sudden she's at NXT. She wants to beat up Nikita Lyons and her and Cora Jade. It's okay, but the whole Joe Gacy shit is whack. The whole thing with Cameron Grimes, and it's fine. But other than that, it's just I can't about the main roster stuff. Is just
I did like the Becky Asuka segment from Raw. I did see that.
Yeah, I did like that too. Yeah.
A lot of people seemed real high on the main event from Raw, but I don't. I know it was a 20th anniversary celebration for Orton or whatever. I didn't.
It was fan service. That's not what that was. I saw Raquel Gonzalez. Excuse me. I saw Raquel Rodriguez's debut on Smackdown. Let's say her third debut, by the way. But okay.
How was that?
It was a squash match, and she played the face, and she's smiling the entire match.
Oh no!
What the fuck are you doing, man? You're supposed to be Raquel Gonzalez. You're 6 feet. You're badass. Fuck, kill somebody. Don't be smiling in the ring.
Okay, look. She's a good looking woman and all that stuff, right? But she has a face that it works better if she's got an angry look.
Yeah. She's up there smiling as she's trying to chokeslam somebody. I'm like, come on, man, what are you doing?
Like it's just a thing. Like she looked there's something about her look that, like, if she's stoic or she has that kind of like angry sexy thing going on, it just works better.
Not for nothing, but she's better as a heel.
Yeah. I mean, she shouldn't be this smiley, like, I'm a big smiley
person. I mean, this is not her fault.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is creative, but horrible. Come on, man, you don't do that. She's all smiling, giving the ring. Hi, how you doing? Hi. I'm so excited to make my debut on SmackDown for the third time. You know, hi, how you doing? Oh, come on, man. Just come on, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. It's just not. You know, I haven't really. You know, I asked SmackDown for about 8 minutes on yesterday. I was like, nope, Yankee game. I'm done. I just can't.
Did you hear anything about Dynamite?
No, I haven't watched AEW the past 2 weeks, so
Okay.
I don't. I have no clue what's going on.
So I read a lot of stuff and I saw clips. Okay, we don't have to harp on the botches and stuff because that's a given. It's weird. This is just a given now. Any wrestling you want to talk about, it's like, oh yeah, there's botches. Like
Every single wrestling show now is a botch in it.
Yeah, it's like
You see the shit with Nikita Lyons? That was horrible.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Yeah. But I was like on Dynamite they had a ladder match with barbed wire and all this stuff.
Of course, a gimmick match again.
On the same show, they also had a Philly street fight with a bunch of stunts and junk. They have an angle with a fireball being thrown in someone's face. There's just always like just things happening, and I was like, is Tony Khan like kind of ADHD cocaine head or something? I don't know. It was like this weird MTV kind of thing, like, oh, let's throw stuff constantly at you. Boom, 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 boom. I was just like, man, nothing can breathe. Like, how is the fireball angle going to stand out? How is the street fight going to stand out? How is the ladder match with a barbed wire ladder and stuff involved? How are any of these things going to stand out when they're all on the same show together? Right. Like, you need to space it out. Like, have the fireball angle like on one episode, have the other thing on another episode, have one thing on Rampage, blah, blah, blah.
Otherwise, you make everything less impactful.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the problem with like the deathmatch promotions, in my opinion. Like promotions that just do death matches. My English is all fucked up. But it's like watching an entire show of just death matches. But I mean, midway through, you're like, oh, they're bleeding again. Oh, light tubes again. You know, like yeah, they're bleeding. Yeah. Like, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they're bleeding. Yeah. There's some kind of a hardcore deathmatch thing I saw one time from England, from Progress Wrestling. It involved what's his name? Jimmy Havoc. He was in
God, I can't stand him.
He was in AEW for a bit, right?
Yeah, he was in AEW. He was in Impact talking a lot of shit. Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right guy? I don't know. He was an English guy. He would do the Acid Rainmaker. Do you remember that? Maybe he had a different name. I don't know. But anyways, it was him and some other guy, and the match was just like 20 minutes of light tubes. Like we hit each other with one light tube, then we're hitting each other with 2 light tubes, then 3, then 4, then 5. You know, they just kept escalating the number of light tubes, and I was like, but nothing is happening. You're just doing more of the same light tube bullshit as this goes on.
It's ADHD wrestling now, Pedro. Don't you know that? It's all ADHD wrestling. That's it. It's Crash TV. Everything is Crash TV today.
Yeah, but the ECW stuff. Okay, so that was a lot of Crash TV. I mean, but it wasn't like from beginning to end just nonstop stuff going on. There were
because you actually had storylines like Sandman and Raven. You know, you actually had actual wrestling like Eddie Guerrero versus Dean Malenko. You know, they were having 25-minute classics in the ring. You know, that was all thrown in there, so it wasn't constantly, you know, blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts. You know?
Well, yeah, and they were different kinds of stories, right? They weren't all like the same kind of things. Like, it's so weird. Like everything is just like nonstop, just the same kind of stuff, and people are like, "Oh."
You gotta remember, this was 30-something years ago, where all this shit was unheard of back then.
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting. Some of the ECW stuff, if you think about it, weren't they kind of taking some of the Memphis things and just kind of like,
yeah,
let's turn it up a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about some of the stuff from Japan, like the FMW, Onita is basically said he just took like the stuff from his time in Memphis and just went like,
yep. Turn the volume all the way up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, wrestling's weird right now.
It's just, I'm watching so many other things. Like I'm into Moon Knight right now. I'm loving Tokyo Vice. Even Young Justice has gotten good. It's not even, I just like I watch wrestling. I'm like, oh, come on.
Okay, I see the ads for Moon Knight, but I have not seen any of it. How is that?
It's good. I like it. It's good. I like it. Oscar Isaacs deserves a fucking Oscar, man, because he does crazy well. Because in the comics, Mark Spector, he's diagnosed with like a DID disorder, right? He has all these multiple personalities and like all this shit. So actually playing it off well in the TV show, It's good how they do it. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
I haven't been watching much of anything, to be honest.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm trying to think what I've been watching. Nothing really.
The Batman. You watched the Batman.
I watched the Batman last week. Well, it was Stephanie's birthday. She wanted to see it because it was coming out on her birthday.
A bunch of ham and eggers in costumes.
Yeah. Oh man, we talked about it before we went on the air, but I mean, I'll just say, I found it like kind of bad funny, a lot bad funny in a way. I don't think it needed to be 3 hours. I mean, there wasn't much to this story. It did not need to be 3 hours. They could have definitely edited this down to something shorter.
Is that was the Riddler, or was it Hush, or was it the Riddler?
It was like Hush, Seven, The Godfather, but like so many things. They're just like, let's take this, let's take that, and hey, Gordon and Batman, a little Brokeback Mountain in there, and then it's
it was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That'd be awesome. We need a Fast Time at Ridgemont High, like
Batman.
Not. I mean, just a superhero movie like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, oh,
whoa, Mr. Hand.
Yeah. Some of the acting choices were just everyone just went to like the hammiest like kind of stuff. I was just really it was hard for me to get into it.
I'm gonna say this once, and I'll say it again. I've said it from day one, and after watching it, I'm still gonna say it. I'm not sold on Robert Pattinson as Batman. Sorry.
He's too low energy, and
Bruce Wayne is suave and debonair, and that's what makes the whole Batman dynamic works. Bruce Wayne is out there and he's charismatic, where you have the Batman's brooding, while the Batman is his real personality. He acts every time he's in Bruce Wayne mode, and this was none of that. He was the exact same person, mask on, mask off.
It's true.
And
I know the movie was The Batman, so I understand the point was to have a lot of Batman in the movie. But
wait. He's not Batman in the movie. He's Vengeance.
It's Vengeance.
Vengeance.
It was
interesting. On Vengeance.
On Vengeance. Was interesting to me that when you have just Batman, it like doesn't work. It doesn't read as much as Batman. You need more Bruce Wayne.
Especially when the story revolves around his father, especially when the whole story revolves around his father.
Yeah,
it revolves around Thomas Wayne, and you're like, hello.
John Turturro. He is that the actor's name? Is he the one who
Yeah.
played Carmen in Fun?
Yeah. Yeah.
He had like the easiest role in this movie because he's like, oh, I've done this and I don't know how many things before. Sure, I'll just do
Yeah, he
that
played
thing.
Carmine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that thing.
Yeah. And then you had, and then you had Colin. What's his name as the Penguin? Which okay.
Oh man, he again it goes to the hammiest kind of thing with it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I did see that last week, and then this past weekend, because some beautiful green-eyed girl is obsessed with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. I, I I ended up seeing the pilot, the 2-part pilot of 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street. I used to watch that when I was younger, man. I was well into it. Every week. 21 Jump Street.
Jump.
Jump. Yeah. Jump Street.
Jump.
That was like Peter DeLuise, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What was the girl's name? It was
Holly Robinson.
Holly Robinson. Yeah.
Holly Robinson.
I'm trying to remember the name of the other guy. It's I can't remember his name. Anyways, yeah, that was hilariously bad. If you haven't seen that in years, at least watch like the first 30 minutes of the first episode, because there'll be so much in that first 30 minutes you're just gonna be laughing your ass off. Like I don't know, that their idea of what was going on at that time is hilarious. But
everybody says if you're gonna watch a Johnny Depp film, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, or you can go with you go to Donnie Brasco, or you can go with I don't know. There are a few others out there. None of that Pirates bullshit.
I'm trying to think what would be my favorite Johnny Depp movie. It might be Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands is good. Edward Scissorhands is good.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I do.
Yeah, but that's more Tim Burton than anything else.
Right.
Edward Scissorhands is good. I do like What's Eating Gilbert Grape is good. Of course, you got Donnie Brasco. There's a few others here and there, but I don't know.
What was that black and white Western he was in, like in the 90s?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I forgot the name of that. Yeah.
Let me look it up. I never seen it, but I remember seeing.
Don't watch Lone Ranger. That's horrible.
I did see it in the theaters, actually. Lone Ranger.
Oh, that movie's absolutely blows moose chunks.
Hey, he was in Nightmare on Elm Street. Everyone can always,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I did kill her.
Oh, Dead Man.
Dead Man. There you go.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but
don't be like Amber Heard. Don't shit the bed. And then blame it on a chihuahua.
Chihuahua. Ay, chihuahua.
Yeah, the shit's bigger than the dog. You're gonna blame it on the dog? Good job.
Everyone needs to look up Alejandro Romero testimony.
Oh yeah, the vaping guy.
Yes. Oh hey, in the chat room we got YYH. Hola. Yes, Zeus is missing at the moment. He's doing double duty. He's giving speeches or something today.
Double Y, double H, Y2, H2. Yeah, Zeus is playing the Road Warrior Scholar. He is shaping the minds of young video artists as we speak.
Yes.
Schooling them in the ways of lightning bolts and thunder.
Yeah, graphic arts, lightning bolts and thunders.
Yeah, so he'll be in a little while. As soon as he finishes signing autographs or, God knows, taking pictures with Tanahashi. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. He's like, and here's my friend the Ace Tanahashi.
The Ace Tanahashi.
And Tanahashi just, he does that one like wave he does where it's kind of like the index finger and the thumb are up and the rest is down, and then
after he does the hair flip.
And then he opens his jacket thing to show off his muscles, and then he goes to the microphone and he's like, he motions to Zeus and he just says, "Listen to my friend," and then he walks off.
Hair flip. See you later.
Yeah, he's
Zeus is fielding questions right now. He's signing autographs.
Signing autographs.
He's not just super. He's not famous. He's super famous.
He's super famous.
Zeus King Dog. Well, I just, like I'm gonna try to watch NXT again this week. I highly doubt I'm gonna watch AEW. I don't know. I should be more excited about the excuse me, quote unquote, breaking down the forbidden door. Excuse me.
No.
With New Japan versus AEW, but I have a funny feeling it's going to be a shit show of a booking. So I'm not even excited for that. I'm not.
That I know people are excited about that. That did the opposite for me. It made me like less excited.
It did the same exact thing for me, Pedro. It's the same exact thing. I'm less excited. I don't want to see Okada job to fucking Hangman Page.
Yes. Wrestling's just in a bad place. I mean, all the things that people were trying to tell me, I want, since YY is here, I'm going to do a shout out to YY.
Y2H2D2
because she had tried to tell me, in the past 3 or so years, like this is where wrestling is headed, and I just was so. I was so stuck on, on standards, right? Like this is what I was like, this is how it should be, wrestling should be, XYZ. This other stuff is worse than it's supposed to be. But she was noticing the trend was like, whatever it's supposed to be, whatever the standards were, what people want is worse. Like this, they want this, and this is where it's going. It's going this direction. And yeah, she was right. I was wrong. James
wasn't
right. No, I was wrong.
Wasn't AEW supposed to be the alternative, and now it's not the alternative anymore, and not everybody's looking for another alternative? Because it's nothing. It's nothing. It's all crap now.
It's kind of like when someone gets released by the WWE and people now are almost joking, like, "Oh, I can't wait for them to show up," and or like, a game changer is about to happen.
Yeah, like you mean like Ruby Soho, and then she faded, like Adam Cole, and then like yeah.
It's all like it's become like a punchline now, but nothing matters anymore. So
control your narrative wrestling.
They definitely don't matter in the larger scale.
MLW was just turned into complete shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
That thing is shite. Garbage. It's horrible.
But yeah, wrestling is not wrestling anymore. It is this weird like cosplay thing. I mean, and sometimes it's literally cosplay. You have Fart FTR. You have them literally lifting basically the entire sequences from the Bret Owen WrestleMania 10 match for this Owen Hart tournament. They like lifted entire sequences, and to be like, "Oh, look, we're doing that stuff from that famous Owen Hart match," and you're like, stop and think about this in kayfabe terms for just a moment. Like, what? Like, can you imagine? We're having. Can you imagine like Rafael Nadal and who's the other guy he had all those matches with?
Peace Empress?
No, the Swedish guy.
Bjorn Borg?
No. What is that guy's name? I can't believe I can't remember this. Roger Federer. Roger Federer.
Roger Federer.
Okay, so imagine they're having a match on some low level tournament, and they're like, "Hey, let's do some of those. Remember those dramatic moments we had at this tournament and that tournament against each other? Let's do this. Let's do this again." Like, it wouldn't make sense, right? You're like, it's a or
let's do Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe.
Or say the Yankees and the Red Sox are having a game, and let's say they're like, "Hey, let's do these moments. Let's recreate these moments from these famous matches.
Let's relive the Bucky Dent home run from 1978."
Yes, well, I mean, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And they would do it, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is gonna get the crowd to pop," and you're like, "But it's supposed to be a sporting contest, right?" So in that regards, what sense does it make to be just doing these tribute sequences to these past things?
Not for nothing, but if I want to see Owen Hart versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 10, I'll watch Owen Hart versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 10. I don't need to see Fart do it.
And yeah, wow, you said people wouldn't know they lifted sequences, but they made a big deal about it on social media.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing, and they wore like
exactly
their tights. The back of their tights had like Bret Hart like stuff.
Yeah,
and so I've seen
out their own shit.
I've seen it suggested that this is like, they love this line, the long-term booking. They're trying to prepare people for Bret Hart being their new manager. And I'm just like, I want you to stop and think about this, like, logically in storytelling terms. Can you imagine we're having a match against each other and we're like, oh, in the future, we're going to have this guy as our manager. But when we fight together, let's reference this person's past in our fight against each other. Like, that makes no sense. Like, it makes no storytelling sense.
It's hot garbage, Pedro. It's just
and see, I should not analyze it, right? I really shouldn't analyze it, because what does it matter, right? That's the thing. Right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? It's all work anyway. It doesn't matter.
But I analyze process and stuff anyways, because it's just, what I am. But it's just weird. Like, it's not wrestling. It's this weird cosplay pretend version of what was wrestling. It's like, look, this is wrestling the TV show or something.
I haven't even watched any New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched New Japan since Wrestle King.
The only thing I watched is the other week on Access that they had the New Japan Cup. I was watching that.
Yeah, that would make sense to watch the Access show.
Yeah.
I'm still following the Joshi scene, but I'm not watching any of it at the moment. I'm just following what's happening, but everything just kind of, whatever.
Everything is pure pee caca.
It's pure pee caca.
Pure pee caca. Everything is Amber Heard.
No.
You're a piece of herd.
What I'm trying to think. All I've been doing is just unpleasant stuff. And
why don't you watch Moon Knight? It's good.
I've been doing a lot of art. I have been making a lot of art lately, or working on a lot of art. But
that's good.
Not watching much. So we'll see. We'll see. And speaking of art, Neil Adams died.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Maybe we should save that for.
I was waiting for Zeus to come to get into that.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll save that for when Zeus shows up. But yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was 80 years old, so.
Yeah.
Neil Adams. As a matter of fact, I use it for my quote of the day on Twitter.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm showing him a little love.
Let me go check it out, James. Oh yeah, nothing is gained by not being kind and courteous. There you go.
Adams. Quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and let's see what else I see on James' Twitter. The Yankees have won 7 in a row. Fire emoji.
They're hot right now. They're in fuego. Good stuff, man. They're hot. They're hot. I was watching that game yesterday. I was watching that game yesterday only because I couldn't watch Smackdown. It was rough.
You know,
I don't even know what's going on. All the storylines are all blurry now. It's all confused. Like what? So they're supposed to have a tag team unification, the title match now.
Yeah.
Between RK Bro and the Usos. Now Roman Reigns got involved. Now you have this idiot with the sword get involved now. Oh my God! My God, there's sometimes just kicking in. Come on, man. Who's the guy that beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Come on, man. Scottish Warrior.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. There you go. Thank you. Jesus Christ. I'm getting old. Drew McIntyre. Yeah. There you go. He's involved in that storyline now. It's like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know, man. NPR voice time. I don't know.
NPR voice.
I don't know what's going on. Jim House.
So I have no clue what's going on in that storyline. Does Sami Zayn's involved in it too? Or I don't know.
Did you see that clip from they were overseas and they were doing that house show and the ropes broke?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's crazy because like I think it's Bobby Lashley. He's running off the ropes, and when he hits the ropes, the top one just breaks, and he just like goes falling backwards like with such velocity. And you can see everyone's running, like you see all these people ringside running like over to where he is, like, oh, you know, they're and
everyone get hurt, right?
I don't think so. I don't know though.
Unlike Sammy Guevara, who got hurt.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, what do you expect, right? Look, that spot was dumb. Okay, I know it's pointless for me to bring up just, you know, no one cares about logic and anything. No one cares about safety and anything. But it was dumb because, like, how was Scorpio Sky supposed to catch him?
Mm.
I mean, legitimately, I want someone to answer. How was he supposed to catch him in this spot?
Yeah, that was a useless spot.
There's no way to be like, either you're going to hit the guy with your ass, like on his face, or you're going to hit his face with your legs. So Scorpio has no way to safely catch this spot. So the spot happens. His legs barely glance Scorpio Sky, so he basically makes no connection. And so he just does this flippy thing, hits his neck and head on the canvas, and like, oh, okay. And there is a deal. He takes some spot towards the end on a barbed wire ladder, and then he had to no sell because they were running out of time and they had to go to the finish. And you remember the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa title change?
Yep. Yeah.
They had the same thing happen there. They did a stunt spot and then they immediately had a no sell because they had to rush to the finish. Oh, hey, shout out to Brian Bell in the chat room.
Brian Bell, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, that you know, this is wrestling's crap.
I don't know what did they expect was going to happen in that spot.
It's all good, Double B. You could be late, you could be early. It doesn't matter.
And hey, yeah, for Brian Bell and anyone else who tunes in right now, Zeus is not here at the moment because he's doing double duty. He's at the you explain, James.
He's lecturing at the local state college where he is the shaper of young artistic minds. And you know, after he finished signing autographs and taking pictures with Tanahashi, he will gladly join us. He's on the Zeus King Dark Press tour right now.
Did you miss? No, you did not miss Zeke speak. I didn't watch the stuff. Did he do it? anything in particular this week?
I don't think he did anything this week.
I mean, I know he was involved. He was part of the main
He was in
event.
the main event. Yeah. He's part of that main event. That
I
was
saw
just fan service. So
I saw some theory that Ezekiel is avenging all the times Elias was interrupted by interrupting all the people who interrupted Elias.
okay, I like that.
I saw this theory online.
Nice.
I was like, oh,
Nice.
someone would have to have way too much time on their hands to put those things together. Like,
All right. So here's my question for you, Pedro.
okay,
What's the plan with Roman Reigns? Do you split the belts? Do you keep it universal? Do you make one big belt? Do you keep two separate belts? Is a Scottish Warrior a viable contender, or is just something, or is it just a placeholder? How long do you do this thing with Roman Reigns?
okay. So wasn't he supposed to have a title match against Nakamura?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he was supposed to. I don't know if that's still happening.
Okay. I don't know. Like, about, do you keep it unified? I don't have a problem. I think it's a good idea even to unify the WWE title, to unify the tag team titles. I think it's a good idea to unify the women's title, but maybe not. Who knows? Because then you can have the U.S. title be Raw. You can have the Intercontinental title be SmackDown. Those would make that,
I say unify the titles. You make brand new belts for the unification titles, right?
Yeah.
Don't split the belts at least for a year. At least for a year or two, don't split the belts. Because it doesn't matter, because you have people showing up on both shows anyway. So what's the fucking difference now? Right. So have your champion go to both shows, and that's it. And that's how it should be done.
On Roman versus Drew, my only thing is Roman's already beaten Drew McIntyre during this title run. So this is a problem.
Are you gonna do it again, or
this is the problem we're getting into with his reign now, is that he's beaten everyone. So this is why, like, Cody, when he comes in, you start going like, oh, they can make him beat Roman Reigns for the belt, because he hasn't, he's one of the only people who hasn't been beaten yet in this title run. The same with Braun Breaker. We said, you bring up Braun Breaker, you build him up to do it.
Right.
But if you have Drew McIntyre do it after he lost in the past, you're just like, it just starts feeling random or something. It starts feeling like Impact booking or something. But
I agree a little bit with Brian, but it's like, how many times do we need to see Roman versus Drew, though? It's just like you just said, Pedro. Like he already beaten him.
Yeah.
I think you groom him for Braun. I think you bring Braun up and have him just run roughshod.
Oh yes. Brian is saying, but Drew is an acceptable feud to give Cody some time. Yeah, I mean, you can say the same. You can say the same thing for Nakamura and anyone else, because Nakamura hasn't challenged him yet in this specific title reign until now. So yeah, you have him have a thing, then you have someone else do a thing, and you keep.
I never liked the split belts. I think make it one belt. Just have it one champion each. If you want to keep the U.S. belt on Raw and Intercontinental belt on SmackDown, that's fine. That's totally acceptable. That's good. Have one women's champion, because anything to get Ronda Rousey off my television is fine. She absolutely sucks. She can't cut a promo to save her life.
I hesitate a bit on the women's title to unify.
Why?
And I'll explain it like this, because Charlotte has to have a plaything. Okay, she has to have a trinket. So either you're going to have everyone a job to her, or you're going to have to split the belts.
Or have her give her a vehicle. Have her be Queen of the Ring. Have her be Miss Money in the Bank. Give her something like that.
Queen of the
where
Ring.
she can have a trinket.
Queen of the Ring would be good for Charlotte. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be good. But I mean, like, you're gonna have to after all this work they did with Becky and Bianca, which I thought they did a good job. At first last year, it seems stupid that they had Becky beat Bianca in 30 seconds at SummerSlam, right?
Right.
But by the
They
time
did build off that story, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. By the time we get to this WrestleMania and the blow off, we see that it was this whole long plan, and it worked. The whole deal worked, and everything played into the finish. The blow off. So I mean, it ended up being like a good thing overall. So after all that, do you go, well, hey Bianca, we're gonna put this thank you for all that, now we're gonna put this on Charlotte so we can only have one title,
and now you have Asuka back in the mix too, so how do you not give Asuka a strap?
She's not gonna get a strap, but she's there ultimately to put others over because of her age and stuff, but she got a legit pop on Raw.
Well, she's Asuka. Asuka.
I mean, Kana got like a legit pop on Raw. The crowd was happy to see her again. Problem with Belair is people care more.
I agree, Brian. I agree.
The problem isn't so much that they care more about Becky Kana, right? The problem is that Bianca, and I said this in the past, she doesn't have a true character wrestling character. She has a catchphrase, and then she's amazing. Athletically, she's amazing, right? She's unbelievable, but she doesn't really have what is the Bianca character?
She's no Jade Cargill.
Well, it's weird because if you put them next to each other, right, you might go, oh, well, Jade Cargill looks hotter. She looks more marketable or something like that, right?
Yeah, but that's where the difference is. That's where anything ends right there, because she can't touch, but she cannot even touch Belair in the ring. As far as talent, athleticism, or charismatic, or her being charismatic, or being charismatic.
I mean, what I was going to get is just say athletically, Jade has all these muscles, but she's not really that strong. We've seen her struggle to lift a number of people, and women's wrestlers are tiny people for the most part. These are tiny people. One of the benefits for women's wrestling is you see women wrestlers of the world over don't have trouble doing much with each other because they're all so small, right?
Yeah.
But this girl sometimes has trouble doing stuff with people.
And hey, Joe, not to mention too, you just brought up Raquel Gonzalez, so she's got to get put in the mix.
Oh, right. Well, you know what? See now, okay, let's say the one women's title's on Bianca, right?
Right.
Okay, you build up if Raquel was a heel, you build up to Bianca, the athletic freak that she is, versus Raquel, the huge, tall, monster heel. That's a money matchup on paper, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Bianca Rhea Ripley. That's a money matchup on paper to do for the title. There's a lot of stuff there you can do that sounds fun and interesting. But I don't see it happening with one belt because it's gonna end up being on Charlotte, and I'm not trying to demonize Charlotte. It just is this weird situation. No, she's gonna have to have. Oh, hey, I hear thunder.
Oh, there he is. He's not super. He's not famous. The Road Warrior Scholar, the shaper of young minds, the lecturer of all, the man who's friends with Tanahashi, the god of thunder, Zeus King Dark, baby. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, fellas?
How are you? How'd everything go?
Oh, good. Yeah, it's always great to be here, Brian Stratton, and got to meet one of the incoming graphic design students, and I got to speak to everybody and things. So it was great. It's been a great morning.
All done signing autographs and taking pictures?
That's right. Yeah, all done.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
What y'all been talking about today?
A little bit of everything.
The horrors of pro wrestling at the moment. The horrible state of it.
And if you're trying to unify the Smackdown, if you're trying to unify the women's belt.
Really?
Because you got Raquel now, you got Oscar returning. You got a whole bunch of people in line for a title.
Well, James brought up the question: do you keep,
finally the voice of reason?
Do you keep the WWE? Do you keep like the Universal and the WWE titles unified on Roman Reigns? Do you unify the tag team titles? And then we were saying, do you unify the women's titles? And the women's title, I was saying, like, my only issue with that is that Charlotte's gonna need a trinket, right? She's gonna need something because that's just her deal. Like, she has to have something. But then James brought up you could put the Queen of the Ring or something like that on her. But we're just going over like that sort of discussions. What we were, right now.
Yeah, it's so hard to figure out WWE. It's I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make everything smaller. I mean, just constantly getting rid of people. I mean,
bye Dakota Kai.
Mrs. Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
I wish I had done that as the theme song.
I know, that would have been
awesome. That would have been good.
Could have gone over all the wrestlers released. Oh my
goodness. Dexter Lumis, Persia Parada.
Yeah. And the thing is they keep talking about these these signings they bringing in these these kids who they don't who don't know wrestling except for anything except being a fan. I think that's we'll see how that works out for them. But
do you really going to put your future in Joe Gacy? No, I don't think so.
You got they did y'all see where the former Ember Moon talked about? They said they had
we didn't talk about that yet.
Yeah, she said that they would go into, they would have these meetings that would be 2 hours long about how to be sexier and dress sexier and and be more like Mandy Rose. And it's like, geez, it's like if you want a Barbie doll show, have a Barbie doll show. I mean, if you want to take it back to the Diva era or whatever. But
I thought they nixed that with the whole Diva Championship ended and the Women's Championship begun. I thought that was all done in the past. Look at that.
Well, I mean, of course, Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling. Yeah. So
of course.
I'm sure it was all her idea.
Yeah.
On that deal, I watched that interview bit or whatever. It was like 13 or 15-minute clip of her talking about all that stuff. My only deal with that specific part, she was saying that, she said, I play to children. I'm not going to wear booty shorts and this and that. And I was thinking, we've seen quite a bit of her body when she was in NXT and some of her gear. So I thought that was kind of strange. Like, she did dress fairly sexy at times, but
well, maybe that was out of her control too.
Right.
I mean, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I mean, I don't know anything about how, people's gear is
developed,
designed, made, handed out. In
I don't think they have much creative control into that, right? I mean, you're told this is what your character is going to be, so you have to have this particular look. So this is what you're going to wear. This is what you're going to look like.
I think they probably have some input, but I think that it's probably a led collaboration is what it seems to me, because I mean we've got to see Ember Moon as this kind of dark, mysterious character at times, and like I said, I'll say this forever and a day, that her finishing move is one of the most devastating I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody else can do it. And it's just, it's crazy not to capitalize on that. I mean, you know that Goldberg had, you know, the spear, the jackhammer, you know, and that was about it. You know, he did two things really well, and the jackhammer wasn't even original. But I mean,
No.
I've never seen anybody do that twisting off the top rope cutter onto people. You know, I mean, and not men nor women. And so, I mean, she's got something that's incredibly special. You know, so I think that, you know, she should have been, you know,
I'm surprised Tony Khan hasn't snatched her up for the Ring of Honor women's division.
Well, you know, we'll see, you know, how any of that works out. If it does at all, I mean, she could end up going to Impact. I mean, even though we don't enjoy watching it, I mean, they do have that. I think they have a better working rapport with women's wrestlers because, you know, Taya pretty much went right back there.
Yeah.
You know,
speaking of Impact, did you see what happened this past week on Impact?
No, what happened?
They were live from the 2300. They were live from the 2300 arena, aka the ECW arena. And you had Mark Cardona. He's cutting a promo. Him and Chelsea Green cutting a promo. Whatever. And Little Guido and Tony Mamalu come out and end up beating the shit out of Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green.
What?
Little fucking Guido. I almost lost it. I was like, what? And then Tony Mamalu. All we needed was Big Sally Graciano. It would have been on.
Right?
You know?
I gotta look this up now.
Yeah.
Who was the other kid? The team with Tajiri.
You're talking about shit. Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah, Mike Whipper did team with him.
Yeah, and what was who was the who is that? It was Tony Mamaluke and was that it?
Tony Mamaluke. It was Big Sal Graciano.
Yeah.
It was Little Guido. Shit, it was somebody else. It was oh man. Who was the other guy? Not Vic Grimes, but the other guy. He used to hang with Vic Grimes sometimes.
Oh.
I forgot his name. He was in WWE for a little bit too.
Did y'all see this Under Siege show Impact is having on May 7th? The main event is Josh Alexander defending the Impact World title against Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
And then
Ishii's been on a big upswing here.
Yeah, he's been touring the US a lot.
He got in Tanahashi's face the other day too, apparently.
Good.
Oh. You've got the Briscoes challenging for the tag team titles against Eric Young and some guy. I don't know who this other guy is.
Weren't the Briscoes just on NAW? They were just on NWA Power the other day, weren't they?
Oh, were they?
That's what I could have sworn I read that.
You got Taya versus Deonna Purrazzo for the AAA Reina de Reinas title.
Yeah. Hey Zeus, are you excited for the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling break down the Forbidden Door pay-per-view bullshit?
However that goes, good for them. I can't even devote the brain power enough to
Pedro and I said the same exact thing. We're not even into it. We're like, really?
Yeah, we were saying like for the fans it's exciting, but like for us it was the opposite. Like we got less excited about like New Japan and stuff.
Because here's the thing, and we're old.
Yeah.
Right. So you cannot, you can't, for newer fans, a lot of them think that they're getting the first taste at this, and that's fine. And get swept up in it and enjoy it. Don't let anybody steal your joy, right? But for me, the excitement of that first WCW New Japan Super Show, you can't top that.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, that was Tatsumi Fujinami versus Ric Flair for the IWGP and WCW NWA World Title. You had the Steiners versus Hassan and Sasaki. You had Sting versus Muta. You had the Horsemen. You had Pillman on the card. You had, Jushin Liger. The first time we got to see Jushin, and it wasn't the first time, but it was a big.
Yeah, it was a big pay-per-view. Yeah.
The first pay-per-view we got to see him on. So it was just, and if you want to talk about a forbidden door being kicked open, and you look at the way that and everybody knows that in Japan the crowds are reserved, especially in Tokyo. But when you see them going just ape shit crazy in those final three matches, it's mind boggling. I watched it on a I ordered the videotape, and didn't get it until a couple months after it happened. That Turner Home Entertainment stuff, and it was still.
I remember those tapes. Yeah.
Good old days.
Yeah, like I ordered it through Blockbuster, and it was like $40. And at the time, $40 in 1991 is a lot of money. Yeah. So.
Jesus, man. Yeah, good stuff.
But yeah, so I mean,
I'm not excited for it.
I mean, but there's no matches. There's no matches have been announced or anything, right?
No. But I can imagine gonna have Okada drop to fucking Hangman Page.
No, they're not.
No.
I see, like, it might be Hangman and Omega against like Tanahashi and Okada or something.
I'm gonna have to eat another Okada burger.
I keep I think Okada keeps mentioning something about he wants to wrestle Daniel Bryan or Danielson or CM Punk. So of those two, I could see it being Danielson. Like I could see him doing the job to Okada. So I could see that.
Well, I could see. Couldn't you see Punk and Danielson teaming up against Okada and somebody?
Maybe.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, because I don't see how there's not going to be any kind of unification matches or. No. I mean, okay, whatever Okada's doing. I mean, he's the champion. He's not dropping the belt to any of these guys.
No.
Because it's just too especially right now, where it's still like Japan is in a huge, state. It's still really dangerous there because the population's so old, and they have to take extra precautions, about travelers, and especially travelers, who are, natives, so it's not so easy where, like pre-pandemic, where you could send guys over there and, work for a few weeks and bring them back, and they could send some people over here. It's not like that anymore. So I don't see things happening where you can.
Where's this show taking place? In Chicago, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
What?
Of course. Come on. It's taking place in Chicago.
What? I'm so shocked. AEW is doing yet more shows in Chicago?
Yeah. More power to him.
Yeah. Hey,
but I would have loved for them to try to pull that shit off at Madison Square Garden. Vince would have put a gasket.
I was saying earlier, it's just wrestling is this weird, I said cosplay thing. Is this?
Yep.
It's not. And beside, we talked about the fart cosplay thing, but I just mean not so much the aping of stuff, but just that it's putting on the costume of pro wrestling. It's not really wrestling anymore. It's this new thing, and it's not for us anymore. It's
no,
it's not for us. No, it's definitely not for us. No.
So I mean, there's
we are not the target audience.
Whatever they do, it doesn't really matter. Like if I start talking about stuff, the logic that's not being applied, I'll go crazy, right?
Yeah,
I think wrestling is for people who are just discovering wrestling.
It's like millennial.
Yeah, it's for the young kids. It's not for old school wrestling fans.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Some of them are still like, well, it's dressed up like wrestling, I'll support it. But yeah, it's not wrestling anymore. It's this other thing. It's just, whatever it is. It's for the kids. It's right. For the kids.
And to be fair, it's like, I mean, there are still older people that do love wrestling, and they've accepted it and they enjoy it. But like, I remember, as a kid watching wrestling, and my dad, telling me stuff like, "Oh, well, that's not, this is all flashy." Look at that Ric Flair guy. He's
yeah,
he's way too flamboyant, and then the Freebirds, and I mean, it was just the 80s changed a lot in wrestling. So it's just a generational thing where you sometimes you can love it forever, and sometimes you just can't, like us, we just can't get past the best of it, and the things that we liked about it are completely gone.
But it's a shame because every once in a while there'll be a flash or something, or NXT will put on a good show, and you're like, wow, I actually missed that because that's how it should be, and then you go switch right back to the crap. It's like you just tease us a little bit, and then you go back to the bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, and for everybody that says that they love these, they everybody that loves somebody that that wrestled before, and just like going. Bret Hart wasn't trying to be any fucking buddy else. So stop trying to be like Bret Hart.
Right, exactly.
Tully and Arn weren't trying to be like anybody. I mean, Arn, yes, he was trying to. He was an Anderson, and he had a certain amount of that to live up to, but it came so naturally to him. But I mean, we all understand that Arn Anderson, is. He's Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Like nobody else. I mean, him and Ole, clearly the two best promos in out of that that quote unquote family.
Yeah.
and in different ways. But
that's what's so good about our era of wrestling, Zeus, because there's never going to be another Tully Blanchard or a Full Horse. I mean, there's nobody could touch Tully Blanchard now.
Yeah.
I mean, all you gotta do is get Tully Blanchard the stick and let him cut a promo. That's it. It's a wrap. Done deal. That's it. I don't need anything else. I'm good. I mean, it just, I don't understand. I just don't understand it.
And that's another, kind of a cosplay thing. Was that this. We got two groups. Of course, they're all none of them are doing anything anymore. But you remember there was two groups at the same time calling themselves the Four Horsewomen.
Oh yeah.
And neither group understood what the Four Horsemen were about. The Four Horsemen were about, putting, keeping the world title on the number one guy. And then
stealing the show,
right? But dominating the title scene.
Yep.
At every turn. I mean, if Tully lost the TV title, he picked up the national title. If he lost that, he picked up the U.S. title. If he lost that, he became World Tag Team Champion. Arn, same way. If he lost the the TV title, he won it back, or he moved on to something else. I mean, that was the whole thing about all those all that time was just dominating that title scene, and it's like the top of the top of the card. Oh, very nice to meet you too, buddy.
Oh, and I just wanted
we're signing autographs live on there.
Signing autographs live on the air.
So
yeah, keep drawing, Love Zeus.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. It's okay, guys. You're super famous. Do your thing. Love it.
He's super famous. He's super famous. The God of Thunder.
I got Tanahashi on speed dial.
Tanahashi's on the speed dial.
Let's call Ace. Let's call Ace.
And what does Ace say? He says, listen to Zeus, listen to Zeus, listen to Zeus.
I'm back.
Zeus.
I'm back.
Back.
Oh, we just did a whole song about you, Zeus. That was
He's
awesome.
back.
Also,
Hey.
thank you, Brian Bell.
Hey, let's forget about wrestling. Wrestling's
Sucks balls.
Zeus, we waited to talk about something because we wanted you on the air. Neil Adams passed away, so
yeah,
we wanted to hear your thoughts on this because you are the super famous Road Warrior scholar, God of Thunder, Zeus King Dark.
Well, there's one thing, and I mean this with all love and sincerity, and Jay would say it too. Is there's no bigger fan of Neil Adams than Neil Adams. But to be absolutely honest, he's absolutely one of the best guys to ever do it.
Absolutely.
He drew everybody like they stepped out of like they were an actor that had been in like movies made in the 50s and 60s. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you just got that real emotion. They like he could do grit and glamour, and he could do emotion, and he had one of the best grasps of anatomy that any comic book artist has ever had, and his dynamic perspective, just second to none. I mean, he really there's not much that he didn't do that wasn't really close to being perfect, in my opinion. So,
I mean, a lot of his covers were amazing, like the Dead Man stuff. Like he did the Dead Man after Carmen Infantino left. He did Dead Man, and that was like spectacular. And like all the Superman mags he worked on. The Batman stuff that he did was awesome, and of course the X-Men.
Yeah. That X-Men stuff. I used to own that first appearance of Havoc. Where he's coming right at the cover with those, the concentric circles around him. That whole effect of the energy with Havoc, that was a brand new thing that he created. And he just, he drew Polaris so amazingly well. I mean, she looked like a movie starlet. He drew all the X-Men well. There just wasn't anybody he didn't draw well that it didn't look like, wow, that could be somebody. And just incredible. And
his Wolverine was good too.
Yeah.
I did like his Wolverine. His Wolverine was pretty good.
I don't think I remember his Wolverine, but
no, it was good. It was good. He definitely with the Havoc, man. He owned that. That was an awesome cover.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, his Batman, because that
Batman was good.
The era that he was kind of doing Batman, you had Jim Aparo, and you had other good
Jim
Batman
Aparo
artists. You know, so I mean, he fit right in. He fit right in with that. He did some of the stuff. I mean, of course, is you know, that Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Lantern, Green Arrow. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, that really helped. That really
he did
helped.
That famous cover, didn't he?
The
did that famous cover,
and the whole story where you know, where Speedy, you know, became a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know, that, and you know, that was one of those things where, you know, that was really challenging the comic code authority, biggest pile of horse shit ever. You know, I mean, it really was. I mean, it is a real, you know, saying it's like, hey, all of this stuff doesn't have to be, you know, little kiddie cartoon comics. You know, this stuff needs to be, you know, needs to tackle, you know, some real issues and things. I remember that stuff he did for continuity comics too, like that Armor. Remember Armor? The dude, he had this cool suit, and he had like blades. He had like blades on the sides of his head.
Oh, I think I know you're talking about. Yeah. I think I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and did he do Samaree too? I think he did. I want to say he worked on that one, but
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, but you know, he did a ton of amazing work, and it just, you know.
I mean, he was doing a lot of those Superman titles back in the day too. He was doing Superman's pal. He did all those covers. You know, he did Supergirl, I think, at one point.
I think he's I believe it was Neil Adams that they had redraw Kirby's Superman faces and things when he was drawing.
Really?
First got back, yeah, because they didn't. Kirby didn't do it exactly the way that they wanted it done. So they had Neil Adams go back in there and redraw the heads, and I believe that the chest emblem too, because you know they had that exact specific way they wanted it done.
That was before Byrne did the reboot, right?
Oh, that's like 1969, 1970.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fucked up timeline.
Because I think when Kirby went back and did Superpowers in the 70s, I think they just let him, you know, do it how he wanted to do it.
Yeah, because I know when Byrne changed the emblem and he made that huge S on the chest, everybody went apeshit. I think it was massive. Everybody went nuts at how big it was, but it fit the character. It fit the reboot.
It wasn't. I mean, I don't remember it being that much bigger, but I mean, you know, it wasn't crazy like remember the Superman that came like right after Death of Superman, where he was wearing the black outfit.
Yeah.
You know, where he had the mullet.
Yeah.
God, Superman had a mullet. I mean, he really should have been a pro wrestler. As much as Superman has changed his life over the years, he's gone through about every, you know.
All he needed was a lucha match. Could have told him.
I was going to say, you know,
de Kento.
You know, maybe he should have had a pair of you know, Superman you know, baggy jeans at one point.
Baggy jeans.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Baggy jeans and a beanie or a toboggan.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but Neil Adams was some good stuff, man. He did some great covers. He did some absolute fantastic covers.
Yeah, his interiors though, you know, I can't say enough about that. They're all dramatic. They're all just really well done. That, I mean, that you know, that stuff with the X-Men where they're fighting the living monolith and the Sentinels. I mean, that was just, really good because he's just great at making just making dramatic movement, and able to look at the how to make perspective with large and smaller characters, and still just he pulled off some amazing shit.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
He
What was he? 80 years old.
Yeah.
What was the last thing he worked on?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. What
I know he did some independent stuff, like in the later years, but like the last mainstream thing he did, I don't even remember. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember anything like years. Anything mainstream.
Yeah, so he started in the 60s.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was in his 20s, but he did Dead Man, right?
Dead Man.
He was born in 41, so it might have been almost might have been in his 30s.
In his 30s, okay.
Late 20s, early 30s, I think.
Yeah.
Okay,
because after Infantino left, he took over Dead Man, and then he made that famous cover.
Yeah, it's got. I see one thing. Strange Adventures. It's featured Dead Man in 1967. Yep. So yeah, he was well into his late 20s.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I knew because I remember that Dead Man thing. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to like Dead Man, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, he says here about the X-Men work. He says the first time I got away from DC was when I went to Marvel to do the X-Men. It didn't stop me from working at DC. They were a little annoyed at me, but that was the plan. If people saw that I could do such a thing, then other people might do it. Beyond that, it seemed like working for Marvel might be an interesting thing to do. As a matter of fact, it was. I enjoyed working on the X-Men. The company was more friendly, a lot more real, and I found myself delighting in the company of Herb Trimp, John Romita, and Mary Severin. I found them to be the people who were not as oppressed as the people at National, with DC.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Zeus, let me ask you: did he ever do covers for Fourth World?
Nothing that Kirby did. No.
No. Okay.
He was only working on. I mean, Kirby did all of his penciling. He did all of the writing, and he did the editing. Right. So he, and he was working on 4 books at the same time when he got to DC. He was doing Jimmy Olsen, New Gods, Forever People, and Mr. Miracle. And they were all intertwined bi-monthly books. So he was doing, I mean, that's an incredible thing to do, is doing 4 intertwined books at one time, which was not, it was really unheard of. And he was doing the writing and the art. And then he had different inkers. Like, I know Mike Royer was his favorite, but I believe that he was a good friend for with a lot of guys like Neil.
Yeah, I was just curious if he asked Neil to do like a cover for like a New Gods or something like that, because it would have been nice to see a Neil Adams New Gods cover.
Yeah. Yeah, he's he's another guy that was really pushing for creators' rights.
Yeah.
And it really
he was involved in a lawsuit, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah. So, when you think about some of these things that just got eaten, all the these properties and things, people like him hadn't have fought for it, then guys would be stuck with nothing for creating some of these amazing characters that are making so much money today, like Deadpool and like all of the New Gods and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen some of the footage of, the Dark Side stuff from the Justice League movie. Holy shit, that's amazing. I mean, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And it's like all these people are getting to discover, this amazing villain, and it's like, wow, well, that's something else that Kirby created. He created the boom tubes, he created the mother boxes, he created the parademons, he created all this stuff that that's set all this stuff in motion for all these movies. But there you go. It's like, there's Kirby, and I mean, I'm glad that they brought him back to help him, get some money. But some of these guys have created things that they'll never get their just due out of.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Neil Adams was a voice for the voices at his time. Yeah, yeah.
And that's
he was fighting for the rights. He was fighting for the rights.
And when you look at the that image documentary, I mean, it's just like they said in the thing. Why would you go and work for Marvel or DC when you can start your own thing and get somebody like Image or somebody else to publish it, and you're gonna benefit in the lion's share.
And you own your creations, yeah.
Right.
And you own your own creations.
I mean, if you don't think that that's a smart idea, if you just want to be, a part of Marvel, a part of DC, I mean, more power to you. But I mean, there's a different, because not everybody can create.
Right. But I couldn't, but okay. But if I'm going to sit there and if I'm going to create a character, much less a universe out of that, entire universe based on that character, if I'm not going to own any of the rights to that, you got to be fucking crazy.
I mean, we say that now, but I mean, I mean, we say that now, but I mean, everybody just, you did work for somebody else. Is just, that was where it was made. So they own it.
Right. But they tell you, okay, you need to draw a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, etc. That's already their established characters. That's fine. But if they ask you to come up with something, and then if you create it, you're like, how do you not own a piece of that IP?
Right. But I mean, it's a long, you're talking a lot of that stuff, happened before, that term intellectual property was ever even, introduced. But like, there's an amazing penciler nowadays. His name is Ivan Rice, and he's just amazing. He does, dynamic superhero anatomy, just incredible detail. He did some stuff, the stuff for Green Lantern and Blackest Night and some of the Infinite Crisis stuff. Really, really good. And
how do you spell his last name? Is it Rice? Like I'm gonna eat rice, or
no, Reis.
Oh, okay.
He's Brazilian. Okay. And so he's like, they send him like the story, and like, I guess, I don't know if he's bilingual or what, but I assume he's somewhat speaks some English, but along with his Brazilian Portuguese. I mean, he's, I don't believe he's really created anything. He's just been, he's just done a ton of penciling, a ton of Justice League, Teen Titans. See, how much Green Lantern did he do?
I'd like to reread the whole Blackest Night thing all over again. I haven't read that in a while.
I really like the emotional spectrum war that happened before that, and the Sinestro War.
Yeah.
I think all that stuff that led up to Blackest Night was better than Blackest Night.
Right.
Blackest Night was pretty crazy. It was good, but
yeah, all the Jet Lanterns, yeah.
Because it just
I didn't get into Sinestro Wars. I haven't read that in ages. Jesus.
Sinestro War is incredible. I that and then the with the everything else, the other spectrums, coming along and getting their their core and their power batteries and different things, how all that kind of came about, where we find out that the Star Sapphires are are kind of the love emotion. So
his I'm finding a lot of his pencils on Superman. Like I'm finding like the actual, like the uninked stuff. It's really great. His Superman's like really great.
Yeah, you can tell that, like, he probably read a lot of Image, a lot of Jim Lee stuff. I see a lot of Jim Lee influence in stuff he's done. But yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of layers, and he can do he can draw just about anything.
It's like I'm watching Young Justice now, and in the past few episodes, they've been into the new gods and everything now. Orion, Highfather, even Lord Zod. Come on, with Lord Zod's getting into the mix, and the White Martian. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, and Rice, I think Rice even has some similarities with some of his work with Neil Adams.
Really?
I think there's some there's definitely some some of that great facial features and dynamic anatomy that that it really reminds me of Neil Adams a bit.
Well, hey, are we still? Oh,
hello.
Yes.
Yo.
Oh, okay, we're still here. We are still live. Zeus is still signing autographs.
That's right.
I know it's the time. I'm like, I guess we should wrap things up. Hey, shout out to YYH and Brian Bell for joining us in the chat room.
Thanks, guys. With double Y, double H, and double B. B. Brian Bell.
Anyone got anything coming up to talk about? Anything to plug or anything like that?
I mean,
Zeus is doing the talk show circuit. He'll be on the Tonight Show, and then Jimmy Fallon, stuff like that.
Yeah, come to my TED Talk.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I hope everyone has a good week out there.
You got Tom's
Weird Life on Wednesdays. And if you want volume 1 of Tom's Weird Life with the first 24 chapters, you can get it from my Ko-fi or my Etsy. Either one, you can get a digital PDF of it. But
nice.
Yeah, I hope everyone out there has a great week. Stay safe, and we'll catch y'all next week. Hopefully, are we here next week?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should be, right? No, maybe. Yeah. Who knows?
We'll see. Everyone, take care. Adios.